The PlayStation Vita launched with the promise of a luxury handheld console. Impressive graphics, dual analog sticks, a vibrant old screen. Sony promised us the future of pocket gaming, but hidden beneath all that technological polish was a silent flaw. A design error that wasn't a software glitch, but a chemical ticking time bomb concealed within the device's body. This is the story of the PS Vita's fatal failure. Lithium-ion battery swelling, a chronic defect that didn't just destroy millions of consoles, but brought a real, flammable safety risk into the hands of players. Tonight, Bitbox investigates how Sony ignored the danger and why this hardware defect was the final nail in the coffin of a beloved console. The problem starts with the technology of the original Game Boy. Its Fortunal sound chip was basic, but potent. The composer for the game, Shunichi Masuda, intentionally made the Lavender Town music sound chilly. Using sharp, high-pitched notes to convey a sense of dread and unease, the PS Vita's problem was material. It was the inevitable result of a chemical principle called battery swelling. When lithium-ion batteries age, over-discharge, or are exposed to heat, they can undergo a chemical reaction. They release non-flammable gases. The pressure causes the battery casing to inflate like a balloon. Sony's design error was twofold. Zero clearance. The PS Vita is an incredibly thin and compact console. The battery was fitted with zero room for expansion. Thermal management, long gaming sessions, and continuous charging generated heat, accelerating battery degradation. The result? Increasing pressure. Players began to notice the screen separating from the shell, the rear touchpad failing, and the console becoming warped. The PS Vita was being destroyed from the inside out by its own power source. For the public, it was frustration, but for Sony, it was a safety nightmare. Swollen lithium batteries are dangerous. When they rupture or are punctured, something that could happen when trying to fix the console by pressing on the screen, they can cause fire or explosion. Many players had to discard the consoles for fear of an incident at home. The worst part was the corporate silence. Sony, which had invested so much in design and marketing, was slow to acknowledge the extent of the problem. Gaming forums were packed with photos of warped Vita, but the company never issued a widespread recall like Microsoft did with the R. They left the fan base to deal with the dangerous defect. Many players had to pay for new batteries, which would also swell, or simply buy a new console. Fueling the perception that Sony had abandoned the PS Vita too early, the battery bomb was a design mistake that had strategic consequences. The PS Vita was already facing stiff competition from smartphones and confusing marketing from Sony, but the chronic hardware swelling and the handling of the issue were the final blow. No platform survives if the public doesn't trust the product's quality. The high cost of maintenance and the safety risks drove away casual consumers, leaving the PS Vita only in the hands of the most dedicated fans. Sony stopped manufacturing physical cartridges in 2019, and the console was quietly discontinued. It never died from a single cause. It died from neglect, from competition, and ultimately from an internal chemical cancer. The PS Vita today is a cult console, loved by indies and retro gamers. But the story of its battery is a cautionary tale. If Polybius warned us about visual control and Lavender Town about auditory control, the PS Vita reminds us of the physical danger, the manufacturing defect that greed and haste can hide inside a beautiful piece of hardware. It is the real risk concealed within our most beloved technology. The PS Vita was a console that promised the future. It ended up exploding into the past. Thank you for investigating another industry secret with Bitbox. What other hardware failure do you think Sony tried to hide? Leave your comment and don't forget to subscribe.